Performance reviews may feel daunting, whether you're the person giving the feedback or receiving the feedback, especially when there's negative items to be discussed. I have a few tips to make the process easier. When done right, a performance review creates opportunity for managers and employees to discuss three key things. First, they'll review last year's plan. Second, discuss feedback on performance. And third, discuss a plan for next year. To demonstrate a few do's and don'ts, I've recruited Greta, Bob, and Susie to help me out.
Hello, Bob. Thanks for coming in for your performance review. I've been looking at the plan that we created for you last year. We had agreed that you would have more ambition and be a little more intuitive and opportunistic. You've made some great strides in a few areas, but you've really slacked off in others.
Did you get any of that? Because I'm guessing Bob didn't either. Plans and evaluations should be specific. Use verbs instead of just adjectives to keep from being too vague. Greta could have said something more like this.
Bob, you made some great strides meeting the production goals we set for you. We'd said maybe you could meet it 15% of the time, but you met it 20% of the time. You did great. That's really impressive. As we continue to look for this next year, I'd like for you to work on your tread changeovers. We'd like to get those down to about 3 minutes or less per tread changeover. This should improve your percentage of meeting your daily goals even more. You think you can handle that?
Yeah.
This time, Greta reviewed the expectations they had agreed on, acknowledged what he did well, and identified measurable, tangible ways he can continue to improve.
So listen, you really need to work on stacking the rubber right in the press carts. We cannot have the columns falling over down inside of there, and your changeover times are terrible. In January, you were caught with your phone on the floor, which you know is strictly forbidden. And then we've also had reports that you're leaving trash in the break room. Okay, and then in March, I had to remind you. Yeah, exactly. In March, I had to remind you to wear your earplugs, and I caught you wearing non-OSHA approved safety goggles.
No way.
Also, 3 times you have skirted in right before shift change. We need you there before the shift meeting, sir.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. While these are specific examples, they are not quite what we look for in a performance review. Managers need to give ongoing, timely feedback to employees. Many of these things sound like they could have and should have been addressed much sooner through frequent, informal feedback. Instead, Greta waited until the end of the year to review and unload every last area Bob could have improved over the year. Employees should grow to expect feedback and makes the process less intimidating and facilitates growth instead. When timely feedback is ongoing, the performance review can be narrowed down. In fact, performance reviews should really only focus on about 3 positives and 3 negatives about the employee's performance. Now, let's see how Greta is handling Susie's review.
Susie, now that we've reviewed your plan, there's something else I need to talk to you about. You're a great employee. You really, really are. And you've been great with the customers this year. But there's just an issue that's been brought to my attention. And I've got to talk about it. And I'm hoping that we can move through this and it's something that we can come up with a solution for together. And maybe you have an explanation, I don't know, but it's time and we need to push past this and have this discussion.
Susie is looking pretty confused and nervous, and rightfully so. Greta really needs to get to the point. Maybe she doesn't want to hurt Susie's feelings, but dragging things out won't make the situation any easier. Managers need to be honest and quick to the point so employees like Susie can wrap their mind around the issue and begin to help reach a solution. Greta should have given a concise review of Susie's performance and the issue more like this.
Glad we've had this opportunity to discuss your plan from this year. You've been great with the customers. We get reports every week about how customers feel like you genuinely care about them. You're also excellent at keeping up with paperwork. But there is one issue I need to discuss with you. It's been brought to my attention that there's been at least 4 occasions that you've left 10 to 15 minutes early, but you kept your time card the same. With the store being locked up 10 15 minutes early, that means we're not being honest about our store hours. We need the store open if it says it's going to be open, and we really need you to be honest on your time card. I've always known you to be an honest person, so I'm not understanding this. Could you share your thoughts?
This gets to the point quicker while also giving Susie a chance to give input. This brings me to another important tip. A good manager maintains open communication with employees throughout the year and makes sure expectations are understood. Plus, employees need to know their input is valued. As it turned out, Susie's husband recently took a new job, so she doesn't have anyone to pick up the children from daycare at 6, so she was leaving early. She didn't think it was that big of a deal to leave only a little early, so she had continued to report that she clocked out at 6. This demonstrates a lack of understanding and expectations and a lack of communication. The whole situation could have been prevented and a proactive solution reached through open, honest communication.
All right, now let's talk about setting your goals for this next year. I'd like to see you sign up 10 customers on credit accounts per day.
Whew. I mean, Susie is great at her job, but she's not Super Susie. Goals must be realistic and measurable. 10 credit accounts per day is measurable, but highly unlikely given Susie's previous track record of an average of 5 accounts per week. A performance review should be setting the employee up to obtain success and providing them opportunities to develop the skills and abilities needed to reach their full potential. For example,
Susie, for this next year, I would like to challenge you to sign up a minimum of 5 customers per week. We're going to be having a store contest, and the winner will get a spot bonus at the end of each quarter. To help you with selling tactics, I've recruited a company to come in and train y'all next month, covering the details of our credit program and how to sell customers' credit accounts. I think that's all that we have to discuss. You've done a great job meeting or exceeding goals this year. Good job. You can go now.
I kind of hoped we could discuss my pay.
Like a raise? And what justification do I have to give you a raise?
managers should always keep a win file for employees and encourage the employee to do the same for themselves. A win file helps the manager and the employees to both track and remember the employee's best work. This is beneficial for performance reviews as well as applying for future jobs and opportunities.
Susie, last year we discussed keeping a win file throughout the year to keep track of what you consider your biggest accomplishments. I think that you've done very well this year, so I'd like to request a spot bonus for you. I have my own file of things that I think you've done well, but I'd also like to see what you have. Let's review that now.
I hope this demonstration of tips for completing a good performance review has helped. Remember, the goal is to review last year's plan, give feedback on performance, and discuss the plan for next year. Don't forget the tips we've discussed. 1. Plans and evaluations should be specific. 2. Managers should give ongoing, timely feedback throughout the year. 3. Performance reviews should focus on only about 3 positives and 3 negatives. 4. Managers need to be honest and quick to the point. 5. Goals must be realistic and measurable. And 6. Managers should always keep a win file for employees and encourage employees to do the same for themselves. With practice, any manager can take advantage of the opportunities a good, thorough review can create for the whole team. And their employees will be better because of it.